His car chase. You can't take your eyes off it. We'll talk about James Harden to the Brooklyn Nets, plus Urban Meyer to the Jags. It looks like it's official. That and more. Greg Cosell, Steve Sarkisian, new coach at Texas with the Longhorns, joins us too.
All right, Colin, good stuff. Well, LeBron has been working on his shooting range, and it's beginning to show. Frank Vogel said that LeBron always has a green light to shoot because he is, quote, probably the best shooter on the team. Shannon, do you agree?
What?
What? Man, that's my nephew. That's my nephew. But no.
Who's your nephew?
LeBron.
Oh.
LeBron, my nephew.
No.
But
I thought you meant Vogel is your nephew.
No. Frankie V.
Even you are saying no to this?
No.
Wow.
I believe the best shooter on the team, I would probably say KCP first, probably AD second.
Really?
Yeah.
Wes Matthews has the best three-point career shooter.
Right.
He's at 38%.
Right.
Now, if LeBron is your best shooter, you're in trouble because he's a career 34% three-point shooter. I know he's been on a hot streak.
Ain't no hot streak.
He's
We gonna
all the
keep
way
it
up
going.
to 39%. Want to bet about 5 cases on that?
We might finish the season at 40.
Really? Will you bet me, what, 75% free throws, and he's just hovering right at 70 right now?
We gonna go on a hot streak. We gonna make about 15 in a row, be right back to 75 and hold it there.
Well, he's ranked 39. He's 39% right now. That ranks 87th in the NBA. You love that?
Yeah, but Skip, I mean, there are some guys that you know that are shooting the ball. They're like mid-50s, maybe even 60% from the three-point line.
Mm-hmm.
Do you believe they're gonna shoot 60% for the season? Okay,
it's
then.
early. Is LeBron gonna hold up at 39? He is not.
That's more likely he hold up at 39 than they hold up at 58,
Really?
60.
Do you want to bet just a single case on 39%?
Give me 38.
38?
Give me 38%. LeBron shoot 38% from the three.
Okay, I'm going to give you a case here. I'm just going to give you a case. I'll give you 38 because he won't make it.
He got it. Yeah.
Career 34.
That's okay. Wait, I saw him shoot 40 one time in
by the way,
Miami.
he's taking more and more threes because he's chasing Kareem.
We ain't chasing no Kareem.
Harden tried to steal the show today, but we ended with LeBron. Only feels appropriate. Great stuff, guys. We're back same time tomorrow. The Herd is on right now. Have a good day. Well, guys, James Harden got his wish and is being traded to the Nets in a 4-team deal involving the Pacers and the Cavs. Karis LeVert ended up in Indianapolis. Victor Oladipo is now in Houston as part of the deal that also included several first-round picks going to the Rockets as well. Harden's pairing with Durant and Kyrie has now made the Nets the Eastern Conference favorites, according to Fox Bet Sportsbook, but are still behind the Lakers as favorites to win it all. Fox Sports NBA analyst Chris Broussard is joining us. Chris, good morning. What a wild last 24 hours. I want to start with you here. Should the Nets be the favorites or will they be failures?
Well, I'm not going to say they'll be failures, but they aren't the favorites. There's no way I'm making them the favorites. Failure would be not to get to the NBA Finals. And I will give you that they can be the best team in the East. And some of that's because everybody else in the East has question marks. Milwaukee, we've seen them struggle in the playoffs. Philadelphia has a point guard that won't shoot the basketball. Miami's just not that talented. Boston is young. Kemba Walker's got knee issues. So everybody out there is flawed. So, yeah, I can make them the favorites in the East. But basketball is a team sport, and chemistry is important. And we have seen before in the past that you can't just throw a bunch of talent and a bunch of superstars together and it's automatically going to get you a championship or even to the finals. Remember Shaq, Kobe, Gary Payton, and Karl Malone?
Yep.
I get that Malone and Payton were a little older, but the year before they went to the Lakers, they put up all-star numbers. Their problem was chemistry. Remember Olajuwon, Barkley, Clyde Drexler, and then Pippen in for Drexler later on? Those teams, those guys still could play, but it didn't work chemistry-wise. And this, what is in Brooklyn, is the greatest chemistry experiment I have ever seen in my 26 years of covering the NBA. You would be a fool to write them off completely. You got to give them a puncher's chance because of all of that firepower. But I am not putting them ahead of the Los Angeles Lakers, who right now look like they're head and shoulders above everybody else in the league. They got 3 issues in Brooklyn. 1, style of play. 2, ball-dominant guards that over-dribble and want to be the man. The second thing is egos and personalities. With Kyrie, there's the unknown. Is he even coming back? We have no idea what type of headspace is he going to be in when he comes back. And then there's the known. We know he left a championship team in Cleveland because he wanted to be the man. He woke up this morning, maybe he was on a political call last night or something. He woke up this morning and he's the third best player on the team all of a sudden. Is he going to be happy with that? Yeah. So you got those issues. And then thirdly, defense. You don't have to be, a tremendous defense, but you got to pay attention to the defensive end. And they've got 3 stars who aren't defensive-minded and coaches that aren't defensive-minded. So all those question marks lead me to still go with the Lakers. Who's guarding AD? Who's stopping LeBron? So I'll give you the East, but you ain't beating the Lakers.
Go.
No, I want to go. I want to sit over here and gloat some more.
So, Chris Broussard, I believe that the Brooklyn Nets, unbelievably, not the old New Jersey Nets became the Brooklyn Nets. And because they just signed out of the blue Kyrie and KD, and then they outbid the 76ers for James Harden, that they just won this year's championship and or next year's championship because that window is open. I give you chemistry experiment. But to me, if you blend the best player on the planet, the most efficient scorer of the basketball I have ever seen in Kevin Durant, a 2-time back-to-back finals MVP, an alpha who shocked me by how he took over the Golden State Warriors and led them to back-to-back championships. And you add a man who's a 2-guard by trade, who is James Harden, who is simply the most revolutionary perimeter scorer we have ever seen. A man who also led the league in assists and who also last year led the league in steals, and who is a very underrated, disruptive defensive player who was 6th last year in deflections and 3rd in loose ball recoveries because he played his tail off on defense and he reduced his usage rate from 41% all the way down to 35%. That's a big drop just for his buddy, Russell Westbrook. If he sacrificed that for Russell, he'll sacrifice this for Kyrie. Kyrie is simply a point guard, a clutch shooting point guard with the greatest handles I have ever seen, even beyond Allen Iverson. I'd have to go back to Curly Neal of the Globetrotters to find handles like these.
Isaiah had handles.
Okay? I know, but not like Kyrie.
No, but...
Okay, listen. Kyrie.
What's that?
I give you Kyrie.
Yeah, Kyrie got the best, yeah.
Okay.
I give you Kyrie. I think he's the best ball handler ever.
So you have a point guard. You have a 2 in James, and I get you. He can be ball dominant, but I don't think he'll be nearly with this group. And you have a Kevin Durant who doesn't need to touch the basketball that much to score 30 a game. He can get you 30 on 12 shots.
He might not touch it that much with those other 2 guys.
Okay. And Chris, I thought this team would be gutted by this trade. And then I sit back and say, wait a second. They still have Joe Harris, the NBA's 3-point shooting championship, champion from a couple of years ago. And you kept TLC and Bruce Brown. And I can go right down. Jeff Green is there. I like this team. And I didn't mention DeAndre Jordan, who just 3 and 4 years ago was first-team all-defense. He's only 32. You can't tell me he's washed up at 32.
Yeah, but that's a 32 for a big man. I mean,
come on. Well, Kareem played till he's 40.
Man, stop it.
Well, he did. Okay? So I love the chances of this team. And as you say, it depends on Kyrie's head. I'm not sure where it's at. But I'm saying that James Harden will be a Hall of Fame insurance policy. But beyond that, he'll be a catalyst and a motivator to get Kyrie back in the fold and back re-engaged to play basketball at the highest level.
Chris, he's saying this. He said, well, James Harden sacrificed to play with Russ. Now he's going to have to sacrifice a third more to play with KD and Kyrie. So now all of a sudden the guy that's over the last, say, 5 or 6 years averaging about 31 points a game. So basically he's about to see that go down to what? The low 20s? Maybe even the teens? Really?
It won't go in the team.
I mean, I'm just asking. So, Skip, somebody now. I don't really know. I don't know if there 20 shots to go around to 3 different guys. Chris, have you ever known 3 different guys to take 20 shots per game? I haven't seen it. Now, Kevin Durant doesn't.
That's tough to do.
Kevin Durant doesn't need 20 shots. He can get you 30 points on 15, 16 shots. He's that efficient. But the other 2 guys, Skip, they need the ball. They're not catch and shoot like Steph and Clay.